Bro, if you're not, first of all, if you don't understand the character, forget it. Second of all, if you're not feeling the character, you're never going to get over.
Speaking of somebody else who I think is going to transition back into Impact was Taya Valkyrie, Frankie Monet, John Morrison's wife. It's kind of surprising that they grabbed her and released her in such a quick amount of time. I don't know. It's just someone who they gave weeks of build for as far as promos in NXT. She came in and she really wasn't utilized in a very good way. They really never maximized her. So it just seems like they just brought her in for like a trial and error basis, and they really didn't have much going for her.
Did she sign the same time Morrison signed?
She signed after Morrison.
After him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, see, the only reason I'm asking that, bro, is maybe that was part of his deal.
Okay.
Maybe they wanted Morrison, and Morrison said, I will sign if, and they did it. So now they can release her after.
But it wasn't too far away from when he came, though.
Yeah.
It wasn't too far away.
Yeah. So that could be a possibility.
Sure. Yeah. They're not really, other than this finding your inner chi type of deal they're doing with Morrison, it's just, they're not really utilizing either of them well. I think she'll go back to Taya Valkyrie, and I think she'll be fine. I mean, I could definitely see her going back to Impact.
I'm just wondering if money's an issue with Impact, Chris.
That's a good point. That's a good question. I know the PR guy there, and I know some things. I know some people from Impact, wrestlers. That'll be interesting to find out, to see if money's there. But here's the thing. I know that they have a big digital presence. So I know they have over 1 million something followers on YouTube. So I imagine because the overhead is not too much because they're in the same arena every week, you know what I mean? And so they get the wrestlers. I imagine that the overhead's not enough, and they might be making enough on the the YouTube funding that they have. Like, for instance, right now they have almost they got 4.25 million subs on
wow, that's awesome. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. So that's a lot of money that comes from that. So a lot of ads, and they make videos all the time. So ad revenue. I imagine the ad revenue for the type of talent they have. They don't have like huge names that they're just throwing a bunch of money at. I mean, you have your Christian Cage is what's also making he also has an AEW contract too. So then you have like your Morrisseys, your Eric Youngs, and things like that. That with the ad revenue, I imagine that they're covered. All the other talent is not big enough talent to like throw a bunch of money at. So. So next we would have, let's do Lucha House Party. I think that they were just always. I heard that they asked for the release. I'm not sure if that's true, but I mean, it's not really a surprise to me as far as Lucha House Party, Grand Mountain Lake, and Lince Dorado. I can see them going to AEW. I can see somehow them being brought in to be on like AEW Dark or something like that. So, as far as let's do a Scarlett Bordeaux. I think the writing was let's just do Karrion Kross with both of them, Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux. I think with Bordeaux, the writing was on the wall. With Kross, I think that because of the promos and things like that, it's not a surprise that he's being released. But at the same time, why would you? Again, it goes back to the psychological damage that you're putting with these wrestlers. You're giving him weeks and weeks of promos. First of all, you had him come to the main roster just to lose to Jeff Hardy, whose record is one of the worst on Raw right now when he was on Raw. And then after that, you had him lose to a Keith Lee and go 50-50 with Keith Lee and Jeff Hardy, and then win a couple more with Jeff Hardy, pull him away, first of all, and then you don't even give him the entrance that he had in NXT with Scarlett Bordeaux. Some reason you don't even have her come up, which adds more mystique to his character. He comes by himself, a Lord Humongous mask, and then you pull him away just to give him weeks of promos, and he never came to wrestle after all of these promos from crates in the back. It just seems like they were trying so much to do with him, and he's has the potential to be somebody because he was, back when he was an Impact and things like that, he was making a huge impression. But you can just tell for me that the writing was on the wall, because it's one of those things that with Karrion Kross, when they brought him up from NXT, they just never really utilized him properly.
Yeah. Also, there was some talk about some backstage heat with girl. So you gotta wonder with that company if that comes into play, man. You just have to wonder.
You do, and we talk about people being independent contractors, which is fantastic. But at the same time, you can't make that type of impression, though.
Right.
On the main roster. If you're going to go out strong. Don't go out being known for causing heat in the back when you're not even over. You know what I mean? So you really got to keep those things in mind.
Yeah.
Let's do next. We'll do Keith Lee. Before Keith Lee, let's do Ember Moon, because we got some things to say about Keith Lee and Eva Marie. Those are the last two that we got a lot to say. Oh, let's do B-Fab too. B-Fab, Hit Row. She was the female who came out with Hit Row. She had a lot of potential. I liked B-Fab.
I have no idea. I have no idea who she is.
Just a really athletic build. If you follow her on Instagram, you can she's a super athlete. You know what I mean? Like, she really could be utilized. I think she modeled and stuff like that too. Very good looking and just very marketable. You know what I mean? To the crowd. I mean, she's very green in the ring though. Like, she was just like a new signee, like not too long ago. She was in the PC, and I mean, they threw her into the Hit Row faction with Isaiah Swerve Scott and Top Dollar. Top Dollar is the guy who hosts the Treasure thing, the weekly thing where they would have the hidden treasures for the wrestlers. The big guy. Yeah, so he hosted that too, and it was cool. You know what I mean? But I mean, out of Hit Row period, they choose B-Fab. They don't get rid of Swerve and Top Dollar, but they get rid of B-Fab. I don't understand. Like, you were there. Why would they say, okay, we're going to bring in Hit Row as a faction, but we're going to get rid of the valet that adds more layers to
Chris, it could be as simple as somebody not liking her.
Wow.
Could be as simple as that, man.
Yeah, she had a lot of potential. I just don't think Hit Row would be over at all, really. I just don't see it. They just feel so contrived and gimmicked, as far as just what they're trying to portray. They're booking them as some type of hip hop culture gimmick, and it just feels like a contrived cosplay version of a hip hop, representation.
Yeah.
It feels very dated, and it feels very stereotypical in a sense. I don't like what they're doing with Hit Row. So let's get to Keith Lee. So our boy Bearcat, man. Let's go to Ember Moon first. Ember Moon, I really, really liked Ember Moon. I mean, I thought that she had so much potential, and she was among one of my favorite wrestlers in all of professional wrestling. Is her Naomi and Bianca Belair are my top three. I like Asuka as well, but those are my top three. A ton of potential, but she was just really injury prone though. And I think that they brought her back to NXT. She had some potential there. They actually had her be tag champs with Shotzi Blackheart, but she had some opportunities to win the title. But they start jobbing her out. And I'm just like, I had a conversation with someone. I said, you know what? She's going soon. I think I even said it on one of our shows.
Yeah.
Like, Ember Moon's going soon because they start jobbing her out. And she has a bunch of potential. I love her finish. But the problem is, I think if I were to make a guess, I think that the fact that she's like injury prone may have been like the death knell to her.
Well, Chris, this was another thing where when she first appeared on the main stage, bro, they gave her a goofy gimmick. I remember talking about it. Like, one week, was she a werewolf?
Yeah.
Was she a vampire? Does she know? Like, she had no idea.
Yeah.
And that's not her fault.
Mm-hmm.
She had no idea what the character was. Bro, if you're not, first of all, if you don't understand the character, forget it. Second of all, if you're not feeling the character, you're never going to get over. And from the get-go, bro, I remember her coming out. Remember, she had the contacts and she's howling at the moon. And I'm like, she was a baby face. She was a heel. I mean, they all go through that.
Yeah.
But I mean, out the chute, bro, it was so confusing and never got over. But again, if you're not feeling it and you don't believe in their plan, it's up to you to speak up, man.
Agreed. I think Ember Moon will be fine though. I think because she's so good in the ring, so she's so athletic. I think that she'll be able to transition somewhere like AEW. I can definitely see her in AEW as far as what's next for her.